Good evening, guys. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's open conversation on money. All right. Good evening, guys. Good to see you. Welcome to tonight's open conversation about money, and we're going to talk about the 6 steps and how we can apply them. As you know, guys, you can't become what you don't think about. It's difficult to become what you don't think about, what you don't plan for. You just can't become anything without focusing on it. You've got to reach a point where you understand how the brain works. So, guys, I welcome you all to this fantastic session. It's an open conversation. I'm inviting all of you who are here to join me so that we can talk at a personal level, right? So that we can talk at the personal level. You can ask questions, you can share your views. What do you think? It's an open money conversation. So I've shared a link in the comment section that you guys can click on and it will bring you live on screen. So far, I have Mr. Fides Musumali joining me. If you want to join me, click that link on in the comment section and I'll be happy to have you right here with me. All right. It's an honest money conversation, guys. We want to talk about 6 steps to attainment and just to discuss a few questions. All right. There's been a lot of beliefs, a lot of talks, a lot of different issues when it comes to money. Right. It's almost a very uncomfortable conversation to have with the members of the opposite sex. It is so uncomfortable to have with a lot of people. People don't like talking about money, especially if they don't have it. All right. So we want to talk about this money conversation. It's an honest money conversation. And guys, we welcome you to this discussion. All right. We want you to be able to participate. All right. We want you to be able to be part of this conversation so that we may be able to see how this is going to work. So, guys, I have these 6 steps in front of us. All right. You can see it says it's a pyramid. As you can see, it's a pyramid which shows 6 steps to attainment. And now those are the steps that I want us to be able to think about. All right. I want us to think about those steps. I'm trying to bring this. All right. Let me just remove it for now and bring it back. Okay. So, guys, good evening. Tell me where you're watching us from. I'll be very grateful to hear if you guys are all right. It's always nice for me to know that my people are fine. I'm grateful for your support, guys. Without you, I wouldn't have come here this evening to talk to you about this. But because of the support that you keep offering us, I am always having the strength to come through and talk to you because I know there's somebody out there who's going to benefit from this particular information. So, guys, I want to say thank you so very much. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. All right. It's always nice to have you here. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. It's an honest money conversation, and I'm gonna need some of you to join me on screen, guys. I'm gonna need some of you to join so we can start talking. All right. I have Mr. Fides Musumari who has joined me this evening, and I'm gonna need some of you to also still be able to join me so that we can begin to discuss. Mr. Musumari, good evening and welcome to the program. How are you?
Good evening, thank you, and how are you?
I'm all right. Where are you joining us from?
Mufulira Copper Belt.
Mufulira Copper Belt. Fantastic. All right. It's very nice to have Mufulira in there on our conversation, and I'm so happy that you've joined us to discuss these important steps, and of course, just your views around money. All right. So I want us to start with something that's very fundamental when it comes to money. Before we even get into these 6 steps, I want you to tell me your view of this. Let me get into this one here. Tell me your view of this one here. All right. In his book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Among the 13 principles that he talked about of success, one of them was desire. All right. And he explained desire as not a mere wish or hope, but a burning desire or consuming obsession. All right. But if you look at a lot of us who want to make it, do you think there's a disconnection between desire and action? What really is your view around this issue? Because I'm of the view that a lot of us want to make it. A lot of us have that burning desire within us, but it just ends within us. We never let it out. So I want to hear your view. Why is it why is it so difficult for most of us to move from desire to actual action? I think I would like us to talk about this, Mr. Musumari. Tell me what are your views here? And guys who are watching us live, please give me your views. I would like to hear from you.
Okay, it is easy to achieve anything that you desire. If you desire something, it is easy to act upon it. So mainly, a lot of people fail to act upon what they desire because they only desire what they hear from certain people. So your desire should be at an individual level.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So do you think there's a disconnection between what we desire and what we actually do? What is the main challenge when it comes to acting? Because if right now you put up a post, you are going to see lots of people want to become wealth, lots of people want to make it, but they lack the action from desire to action. What could be the reason in your own view, Mr. Musumari?
The main reason could be self-doubt.
Self-doubt.
Yes.
Fantastic. And do you know, self-doubt has been an issue for a lot of us because we usually doubt ourselves, we doubt our abilities. And once you begin to doubt yourself, it's difficult to grow financially. And if you look at these steps here, we're going to talk quite a lot about this one, but I wanted just to start from here. If you look at the pyramid, it shows desire, all right? Desire, the actual desire. And we talked about self-doubt. Self-doubt has got to do with belief, the faith, all right? Do you think a lot of us lack the faith that we can make it, especially those of us who are coming from very humble background? What really is the challenge here in your own opinion when you look at desire? Because we are saying we have self-doubt. What do you think causes that doubt in most of us?
Mainly what causes, as you have said, people coming from a simple background, maybe they will be discouraged by their relative. Oh, you can't do this because your elder brother failed to do this. An example, a practical example I would give is when I was in secondary school. When I passed my grade 10, when I was supposed to do my PUAs, I had received a lot of discouragement from people that did not even do PUAs.
Yeah.
But because I had faith in myself, I went through with them and I managed to pass.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So guys, here Napoleon gives us 6 things. It talks about desire, talks about faith, auto-suggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, organizing, planning, decision, persistence, mastermind, sex, transmutation, subconscious mind, brain, and of course the sixth sense. That's what you're going to be talking about this evening. Those 6 steps of how you can apply this thing to those 6 steps. But if you look at faith, the way Napoleon explains faith, he says, a lot of us lack we have a lot of self-doubt. We don't think we can make it. We don't think we are good enough. And because we lack that faith in ourselves, in our own abilities, it hinders us from achieving that which we desire. So the desire is there, but the doubt is stronger than the desire. Now, for us to be able to achieve anything good, we must begin believing into ourselves. And if you look at the faith, here Napoleon was saying that faith means the belief in attainment of desire. And this belief is something that we all can develop. How do we do that? Napoleon again says, we can do it by repeatedly affirming and visualizing with feeling. Why does he say that? He says, if many of us can begin to really feel that which we desire at a personal level, like as if you already have it, all right, it's going to help your brain to give you a lot of ways of how you can achieve that particular thing, because your subconscious cannot differentiate between what is real and what is not real. All right. So because we have desire, but the doubt is stronger than the desire, we don't take action. That's what Napoleon was arguing in this context. So now, and if you talk about this money issue, Mr. Musumari, when it comes to even relationships, a lot of people can't talk about money. They can't talk about money. I'm saying even when it comes to relationships, we're going to discover that a lot of people are struggling to talk about money. They can't talk because they don't. Money is an uncomfortable thing to talk about, especially if you don't have it. All right. All right. We have a guest. All right. Thank you so much, Bandu Movita. Good evening. Welcome to the show. You're on mute. You may want to unmute yourself. If you want to say something, you may unmute yourself. Fantastic. So Bandu is with us. All right. So we're talking about desire and self-doubt. So what we are saying here, for most people, you guys are going to be telling me your views. All right. For most people, they have the desire, they want to make it, but the self-doubt is stronger than the desire. Now, if you look at the 13 principles of success, Napoleon says, if you are going to make it, you should have that burning desire. The desire is stronger than your doubt. Because just 1 inch of doubt can distort the outcome. So I think a lot of us have done very poor when it comes to believing that we can make it. And this is why I want us to discuss the 6 steps. But I just want to get your views, guys, around these 2 important issues: desire and faith. So, Mbandu, how do you think we have done with desire and faith? What is the challenge for us to just have that complete faith in our abilities? We can manage, we can do it. What is the challenge in your view? Yes, Mbandu. All right, Mbandu is on mute. Let's get to Anna. Anna, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Thank you. How are you this evening?
Fantastic. It's good to have you, Anna. It's good to have you. Very grateful for joining us. We are discussing the 6 steps of attainment. But before we get into that, we are still talking about desire. We're talking about faith. We're talking about self-doubt. And I would like to get your views, all of you on this panel, of what you think. What is the challenge with most of us when it comes to converting that desire into action? What do you think has been the challenge for most of us to have so big self-doubt? All right, Anna is on mute. Guys, I'm gonna need you to unmute if you want to say something. All right. Okay. So, Anna, can you hear me? All right. Okay. If you want to say something, guys, please let me know. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the other issue here. I know these are real issues that affect all of us. Now, the audience and all of you on the panel, you tell me, why is it so hard for most of us to talk about money? What do you think would be the problem? Maybe even before we finish on desire, just give me your views. What is so hard when it comes to money conversation? Why is it so hard? People shun away from talking about money, but they want their money, but they don't want to talk about it. What do you think is the biggest challenge in your opinion, Anna? Let's begin with Anna. You're on mute. You may want to unmute yourself. Hello, Anna, are you there? Oh. All right, guys, I need you to unmute yourselves for you to participate. All right. Okay, let's continue. So, guys, what we are saying here, on number 3, you see, it all starts with desire. Now, I want to take you up here. The reason why Napoleon here is saying that, when you have the desire in your heart, inside you, the desire has got to be stronger than your doubt. So it's not a mere wish. A lot of us hope. We wish things could get better. We wish we can change our lives. We wish we can drive that nice car. We wish we can live in that big house. We wish. Now, when you are too much of wishing things that don't happen, this is a desire to actualize attainment has got to be real. And now let me give you just a glimpse of how this can be done. On step number 1 of the 6 steps here, Napoleon says you have to fix your mind You have to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. Now, this is the problem for all of us. Now, let me give you an example of how you can fix or how you can do this. All right, because we're going to talk about these 6 steps. All right, talk about number 1, out fixing the amount that you want in your mind. Number 2, decide exactly what you offer for that money. Number 3, select a definite date to possess the money. Of course, number 4, create a definite plan and implement it immediately. Then number 5, we'll talk about summarizing the steps from 1 to 4 into clear written statements. And then I'm going to end with number 6, where we're going to talk about you being able to go through this statement at least every day, twice. These 6 steps. If you can go through these 6 steps every day, twice, I promise you, your life is going to change. Now, let me begin by number 1. Guys, my audience, please feel free to participate. Let me know what you think. When I ask you a question, unmute your speaker and let me know. Now, let me begin by number 1, which says, fix in your mind the exact amount of money that you want. How can you do this? Now, here's what Napoleon Hill says, all right? Now, I want to give you an example. So, how do you go, all right? How do you go about fixing in your mind that exact amount of money that you want? Now, here is how Napoleon Hill puts it. For example, let me give an example. Let's say your name is Bruce. So you can say, I, all right? I, Bruce Lee, will. Let me just bring this note to you here, maybe so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me bring this one here. Let me come and share this one here for you to see. Let me just give it to you as a comment. All right. So there we go. Okay. So let's have this comment here. Let's have this comment. Let's this comment I've put up there. So let's say that is you. All right. So you can say, you know what? I, Bruce Lee, will be the highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performances and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting in 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession the sum of $10 million. Then I will live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. Bruce Lee. All right. Now see these statements. This is just an example of somebody who wants to do something with their life. So it all starts with being specific. So guys, my audience, tell me, what are you learning from this statement here? All right, guys, in who are watching me live, tell me what you're learning from this comment. How can this comment help you? Let's discuss it. If you want to join live, guys, there's a link in the comment section. You can click it, come live and give me your comments. I'm giving an example of step number 1, all right? Step number 1 here, step number 1 of the 6 steps to attainment of that which you desire. For example, money. If you need to multiply your money, your income, there are these 6 steps I've put up here, all right? And number 1 of those steps says it has to start with desire. And then you have to move from desire to action. Now, how do you do that? You say you have to fix in your mind the exact amount of money that you desire. For example, since 2022, all right, by the end of 2022, all of us are going to make plans. How much do you want to make in 2023? All right, so now I'm giving an example of what this can be done. So here's the example in the comment, and I've said something here using Bruce Lee as an example. I say, I, Bruce Lee, all right, will be the highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performances and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Starting in 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onward to the end of 1980, I will have in my possession the sum of $10 million. Then I will live the way I please and achieve inner harmony and happiness. Bruce Lee. Guys, tell me how that statement can help somebody to have some clarity in their life. Tell me a few positive points about this statement. Let's begin with you, Musumari. What do you think of that statement? For somebody who wants to make money, why is writing a statement like that down important? What do you think?
Writing down such a statement is very important because it will push you to be doing what you have already noted down. When you want to go astray, you go back to your words which you have inked down. So you go back on the same line to doing what you what you need to achieve. So the desire will be burning, and if you have a burning desire, it is easy to implement it into an action.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, Mbandu, tell me, what is your view? What do you think? Somebody wants to make it, somebody wants to improve their finances. Why is it important for them to have a statement like this written down somewhere? Why is it important? What do you think? How can this help somebody?
All right. So for starters, one, you are trading a skill for a service.
Yes.
All right. You're not going to make that money from the blues. So you need
Fantastic.
to give the skill. Because so Bruce Lee is giving us the entertainment skill. He's getting paid for entertaining us. So from the more movies is being featured in, the radio interviews, TV interviews, people are able to see him and they're able to pay for these. So you need to give a service or a skill in order for you to earn that money. Yes. Fantastic. Then two, your goal should be written down. Even in the Bible, it says he go and write it down and run with it. Okay.
Yes.
So the psychological, even how God works or how others call it the inverse, the way it works, that when you write it down, okay.
Yes.
There's the way that God works out his ways that these things begin to fall in place. Yes. But they do not fall in place without you offering a service or a product.
Yes. That's the point. Fantastic, Mbandu. I think I like that, guys. Tell me what you think of what Mbandu is saying. And that's a very fundamental point he's made. Right? Mbandu has made a fantastic statement. Guys, see, in this example I've given here, you want to change your life in 2023. Now, this is an example of what you can do to starting today. Write what you want. All right? And Mbandu is saying, one good thing about this statement that Bruce Lee is not going to get this money because he wishes. All right? Bruce Lee is going to do something about it. He has a skill he's going to sell. And see what he has said. He has said that in return, I will give the most exciting performance and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Did you see that statement? He says, I, Bruce Lee, will be the highest paid. He really wants to make it. And he says, I'm going to do the very best. So if you want to make it, you have to give it your best shot. Bruce Lee says, in return, I will give the most exciting performance, not the average. Guys, the economy is rough. There's no space for the average people. You have to give it your all, right? So writing down something like this gives you some sort of direction. You have to understand what this is. Number one, it's not going to be free money from the Bruce. No, like Mbandu is saying, it's going to be what? It's going to be something that you've worked for. You've acquired a skill and you're going to sell that skill. And notice something, there's a time frame. Starting in 1970, I will achieve world fame, and from then onwards till the end of 1980, I will have in my possession the sum of $10 million. There's a time frame here. Bruce is not just saying what I'm gonna be worth someday. No, he's given himself a time frame. Starting 1970 up to this and this, I will have 10 million. He's not saying I hope to have, no, he's saying I will have. So that means we have to move from desire. Let me show you this is where we're saying here now, us moving now from desire to actually action. Now, this is the part we talked about here earlier. We said we have to move from desire into what? Into auto-suggestion, and now into what? Into specialized knowledge. Where now we come to number 4 here, right? Where we identify and acquire knowledge of specific product, service, or niche which we intend to sell. Like Bruce there, he says, I'm going to be the best entertainer, and I'm going to give it my best shot. All right. So it's going to acquire a specific skill and provide a specific service, entertainment. And he has his niche. So how about you? You want to change your life. What is it that you are willing to offer? Who is going to buy from you? When are you going to start? What is your time frame? Those are the 4 things you must be able to understand. Right? So this is what Bruce Lee is saying. So I think that's a very, very fundamental statement from Bruce Lee. And of course, you can see step number 1, fix in your mind the exact amount of money that you want. And number 2, decide exactly what you will offer for that money. It's important. You can't just wish to make it. You have to decide exactly what are you going to offer for you to get that money. I'm getting the money, I offer a service. I do a lot of I do courses, I do my businesses, I sell salaula, I do a number of stuff. I'm not getting money because somebody gave it to me. No. So how about you? What you have to decide now? Write it down. What are you going to offer? Like Bruce Lee did in his comment, I'm going to offer entertainment. Have you seen? And then you have to select a definite date to possess that money. When is your time frame? When do you want to start? Now we're in December. Next year will be 2023. We have a few weeks to 2023. God willing, you are there. How is your plan? When do you want to start that? Number 4, create a definite plan and implement it. Don't just write it down, begin to implement it. So these are some of the things that we need to be able to be focusing. If you want to grow, we can't just hope, right? We can't just hope. And there's another point I wanted us to think about here. What do you think, Ambandu, when it comes to this statement Bruce Lee made here, like this example he gave of Bruce Lee? What do you think has been the challenge for most of us not to be able to do this? Because I know a lot of people right now are watching us. Guys, tell me if you have something like this written down. If you haven't, be honest about it in the comments. Man, what's your comment? What has been so difficult for most of us to write down that which we want, that which we desire? What is the biggest problem for most of us? Oh, Mbandu has put out. Yes, Musumar, what do you think? We have lost Mbandu. Guys, tell me in the comment, what do you think is the biggest challenge for most of us to have a statement like this written down? This is just an example I'm using, guys, of what your financial roadmap should look like, right? You write something down, and from this statement, you can see what I've put behind there. Those are the 6 steps to help you understand the statement. Number 1, you have to find the service you're going to offer. Number 2, decide exactly what you offer for that money. Number 3, select a definite date to possess that money. Number 4, create a definite plan and implement it. So you have to move from imagining to implementation. And then number 4, you keep repeating steps number 1 to 4 twice a day. All right? Twice a day. This will force your subconscious mind to accept this plan as real, to accept this thing as real, and begin to show you ways of how you can do those particular issues, those particular things. So guys, tell me what you think about this example, and tell me what you think about this analysis, how we are analyzing this issue. What do you think?
Okay, what we can learn from the statement of Bruce Lee is that he had monetized his skill. He had aligned the skill to what he wanted to achieve. So again, if you want to achieve something, at least you should have something you're aligning to what you want to achieve.
Exactly. Fantastic, Musumari. And I like that. Guys, do you see what Musumari is saying? Bruce Lee is not just saying, I'm going to have this money. See what Bruce Lee is saying. Bruce Lee is saying, I, Bruce Lee, will be the highest paid Oriental superstar in the United States. In return, I will give the most exciting performance and render the best of quality in the capacity of an actor. Bruce Lee monetized his skill. Some of you have got skills. What are you doing with your skills? All right? We all have skills. What are you doing with those particular skills? Have you seen? So that's a very important fundamental element of somebody who wants to make. Now, I was asking Mbandu, what do you think has been the challenge for most of us to have a statement like this one written down?
Okay, so for starters, one of the challenges is we don't have the knowledge. All right, we do not have the knowledge. 1, 2, in terms of our upbringing, we have a wrong connotation when it comes to money. All right, yeah. Money is evil. Money is for Satanists. You have a wrong connotation even for those who are successful and the rich. Yes. We have our upbringing in our homes. We rarely talk about money, right?
Yes.
These are some of the few examples. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about marriage. We don't talk about finances in our homes. Henceforth, yet, at the end of the day, when you go to school, your main aim is to make money. At the end of the day, you're also going to have a family. Reproduction is not family. When you're going to learn in biology, well, that's not family. So
yes,
when we look at our upbringing and how we have perceived money itself, it's a whole different scenario. For example, I'd love
Yes.
to give an example of maybe a bit political of the previous regime. A lot of the
Yes.
young people thought, oh, I need to become a party cadre of this particular political party for me to make money. And when you look at
Yes.
it, a lot of kids got misled to the point that they'll never look at, oh, maybe I need to become an accountant or an architect, or maybe I also need to become a comedian. Well, we have all
Yes.
these scenarios. Then also we're also looking at time frame. Others feel like we're also into a generation of get rich quick schemes. Okay, when you look at the time frame that Bruce Lee has given himself, that is from 1970 to 1980. That's about a 10-year window. Okay.
Mm.
Now, when you look at the fact that we're looking at time, one, I myself, I want to get rich maybe the next 2 years, which is very impossible in looking at the amount of money that I want. All right, because I've seen Mr. Shadrach is driving a Range Rover. I also want a Range Rover. No, that doesn't happen like that. Now, in that 10-year timeline, what service will I be offering? Okay, a
Yes.
lot of us want free things fast, and we want it more. But you can't have more money without a product or a service you are delivering. You also need a
Yes.
time frame to do it.
Yes.
So these are some of the
Fantastic.
challenges that we're having. One, it is the knowledge that you are sharing here. Not everybody has that knowledge. All right, all they think of is go to school, get an education, get a salary. Now in a land whereby even employment is difficult to find, even careers are changing. Careers are now being replaced by technology, AI. How do you get to kick into it and make that money? These are all the
Yes.
knowledge that we are missing out. That's my thought.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And I like what you said. Now, guys, what Mr. Mbandu is saying, I'm going to give you another example here of what Mr. Mbandu is saying. Again, I've put a comment down here. And I want us to now go to this comment and look at it. Guys, we have to be practical if you want to change our financial lives. You can't just be dreaming things. Now, here's a comment. I'm now getting this one in line with what Mr. Mbandu has said. I think I'm going to need to edit this. Okay, I'm gonna need to. Okay, yeah, fine, it's fine. I think I'm gonna need to edit this one. So let's say if you intend, for example, to accumulate 50,000, right? By 1st of January 2020, let's say 2020, 2023, and maybe you plan to do that by offering maybe your professional service, for example, as an accountant or maybe as a writer, because you don't have a degree, but you can write a book. You don't need a degree to do that, right? So here, your written statement could look like this. By the first day of January 2023, I will have in my possession 50,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality, of course, the best possible quality of this service. All right. So now, where the 2016, guys, please put 2023. I think I did not write 2023 in the beginning, but it looks like something like that. It's similar to what I wrote up here. All right. You could be an actor, you could be a writer, you could be anything. But what is important is to write it down. We don't talk about money like Mr. Mbandu is saying. We don't talk about a lot of things because we are scared. So having things written down gives you direction. Now, there's another issue here, Mr. Mbandu, which I would like us to discuss. And now look at this one here. Napoleon Hill on his number 4, he talked about identify and acquire knowledge of specific product, service, or niche, right? And then he goes to number 5. He says imagination. Mr. Mbandu, in your own opinion, how do you think we have done as a people want to make it when it comes to imagination? How have we used this tool? Do you think we have done much into using our imagination?
No, we haven't done much in terms of using our imagination. Or I can say yes, we have done. We do use our imagination, but for the wrong purpose. All right.
Yes.
One, I'll give, for example, let me dwell on the opposite side before I go to the positive side. All right. One, imagine most of the times we are always imagining about the wrong things that would happen to us. Yes. Or maybe because you received your payment, your salary late, you think, maybe the landlord will evict me. You're already imagining your property out of the house. All right. at time maybe you are in hospital, like, okay, what if they find me with this particular disease? What if they find? So we are always imagining, but the question, are we imagining things to our favor? We're imagining things against our favor. All right. Yes. When you look at the other that they call the five mental faculties, which is imagination, there's will, there's I've just forgotten the other three. With imagination, this helps us on a positive side. A lot. This would also help us in terms of when we look at also mental health. A lot of mental health is simply meaning that we're imagining or putting ourselves in situations which is against us. Or what if we use the opposite side of saying, okay, what if I imagine myself being successful? What if I imagine myself getting well or getting better? All right.
Yes.
What if I imagine this business striving? Yes, I may not make the millions that I want, but imagine I started having more sales lead. Or I started getting more clients to offer this service. That's the power of imagination. Okay.
Fantastic.
Once you start with this imagination, you're imagining things on the positive side. Even your level of vibration changes. Okay,
Exactly.
you get to have more gratitude. Your vibration goes up. You become a happier person. You're able to engage with a lot of clients and stuff like that. One thing, the imagination also, it triggers our level of work ethic. Okay,
Yes.
imagine yourself when a lot of us, we have been in these situations where we are desperately looking for something. All right, maybe you are
Yes.
frustrated at your workplace. Do you realize that within that workplace, even your level of productivity goes down? Because even yourself, you're imagining you're less motivated to
Yes.
maybe the other problems that are hitting you beyond what you have there. All right, but here's another thing. Here's another example. Okay, as a lady, maybe as a lady or as a gentleman, you haven't
Yes.
had a relationship in a long time, and then there's this beautiful young lady or young man that you want, and then they invite you out for a date, or you invite them for a date and they agree. You're already imagining things there that, wow, okay, I already have a date here. You imagine yourself in that nice suit. You are imagining yourself, okay, where would I take this person to this restaurant? Or maybe is it are you inviting them home? Is it a home cooking? Are you going to a museum? That imagination on its own gives you that level of vibration goes higher. What happens? Even the level of dopamine released in you becomes higher and you become happier. Why? Because you're now using your imagination for something
Yes.
positive.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Fantastic.
So when we look at the imagination part, we are not really using it that much. Even us who have the information of how best we can use it, we are bombarded by life day to day that sometimes we tend to forget how to use it perfectly.
Fantastic. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, Mr. Bandu. Fantastic. I love that. I love that. Makes a lot of sense. Guys, imagination. There's a reason why God gave us that gift of imagination. It's not for fun. This is why when you imagine sleeping with somebody, 9 out of 10 it happens to sleep with them. Because there's so much power in imagination. In fact, in the Bible, Jesus said, "He who looks at a woman so as to have a sexual desire with her, has committed a sin." Because Jesus knows that when you imagine something, if it can happen here, it has already happened outside. It can happen outside. So I said, if you can look at a woman lustfully and desire to be with her, you've committed a sin because there is so much power in your imagination. You can't have what you don't imagine. Musomari, what do you think? What do you think do you think we have used our imagination well as people that want to make it and have financial roadmaps?
Okay, imagination is a two-way thing. It can either be positive or negative imagination.
Yes.
But again, as we imagine, imagination should be coupled with creativity.
Fantastic.
So whatever we imagine, let us try to be creative and attain something from our imagination.
Exactly, Mr. Bandu, I'm very happy that you mentioned those amazing points. Now, what Mr. Bandu said is connected to sexual transmutation. Now, guys, I'm gonna jump from 5 to 10. Okay, we're gonna get back to 6, 7, 8, and 9. But now, because we're on imagination, look at sexual transmutation. A lot of us have used imagination for sexual purposes. This is why you see people sleep with each other a lot. They imagine, no, that lady, they imagine the enjoyment, they imagine what they would feel. They imagine, like Mr. Bando was saying, you may even want to think of a place you're going to go. So there's this vibration which now goes higher than your doubt. This is why you find that a garden boy is sleeping with the boss's wife, because maybe he's been fantasizing so much that the vibration became so high that he was able to connect with the boss, whatever it is. This is why you see you begin to admire somebody that you really like so much. The vibration becomes stronger than the doubt. It pushes you to take action. The moment that vibration, the imagination takes charge and the desire begins to burn, and that desire becomes stronger than doubt, you are going to take action. That's how it works. This is why if you look at Stefan who said, if your desire is burning, your desire is going to be stronger than your doubt, then you're going to act. So you see people say, but how did he manage to go and propose that woman was way older than him? Or that person, because the belief was stronger than the doubt. That's why you're surprised what happened. All right. Now there's this issue here of sexual transmission. Yeah, yes, please.
Yes. So okay, let me on that one. The people should always remember that there are three things that always affect us, which is your thoughts will affect your feelings, and your feelings will affect your actions. Our thought, which is our imagination, will affect us. Are we going to feel happy? Are we going to feel sad? Are we going to your level of imagination will determine whether you're going to how you're feeling. Then your vibe will determine whether are you feeling motivated to do this? Are you feeling demotivated to do this? Okay, just like the way you've said, even when it comes to pornography, all right, it's always start with thoughts, feeling, then action. Even whatever we do, even theft or whatever we do, it will start with thought, then your emotions, and then your actions.
Fantastic, guys, please do not neglect your imagination. There's so much power in imagination. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, just because we imagine things does not mean they're going to happen immediately. It's going to take a lot of work. You're gonna fail sometimes, okay? It's gonna take a lot of work. Now, if you look at sexual transmutation, it's also another issue I wanted to talk about, because we don't talk about sex. We are so scared of it, but a lot of people do it. But it's sad that they don't talk about it a lot, but they keep doing it. They do it every single time. And if you look at sexual transmutation, guys, in his book, Napoleon Hill says sex is the most powerful mind stimuli. If a person can redirect that energy from physical expression to attainment of your desires, a lot of things can be accomplished. So what this means means that if people, like for example, if you have a sexual drive, all right, and you keep feeling it at that higher level, when you keep feeling at that higher level, you reach a point where the only way out is to be able to go and have it somewhere. This is the real thing, guys. If you are feeling it, why do you think people now fail to just control themselves and they just go and find it from where they can find it? Because now the feeling has become stronger. The brain, everything in them wants it. Everything wants it. In the end, they are going to find a man, they are going to find a woman, and at all costs, they are going to have sex. Now, the reason why Napoleon Hill talks about sex transmission, he says that the same way people are able to feel about sex, if that feeling, that stronger emotion, that stronger feeling can be redirected, right, from wanting to be with a person to direct that same kind of energy to your goals, you can achieve your goals almost 10 times faster than an average person, because the sexual energy is so stronger that your brain has no way out but just to let you have it. But if you can control that strong energy and redirect it to achieving your goals, you can accomplish great things. And here, guys, I agree, because I've done some research. I've read also about 2 books now about this one. Unfortunately, we can't explain in details in this session because we're running out of time. But I would like to get your views, Mr. Mbangui and Mr. Msumari. What do you think when it comes to sexual transmutation? How can our people use it to their advantage? Instead of going to sleep with somebody, how can they redirect that energy into achieving their goals? Any ideas, any comments? What are your thoughts on that one?
Okay. So for starters, people should understand what the term transmute is. All right. transmutation in simpler terms means changing of energy. Remember, from even just within high school, remember energy
Yes.
cannot be destroyed or created. It's already there, but it can only be turned from state to state. All right.
Yes.
Now, with sex transmutation at that particular point, remember this is where everything comes in play: your imagination,
Yes.
your feelings, and then your
Yes.
actions. All right.
Yes.
At this level, this is why even the five mental faculties come in. What are the five mental faculties? We're saying the will. You have the will either to go through that activity, or you can change that energy into something better. For example,
Yes.
maybe I who's in the sales profession, all right? I may be feeling the desire to have sex, but again, when I look
Yes.
to my advantage, when I have that greater desire, what if I channeled that energy, transmuted it to make more sales call, more follow
Yes.
ups, or more advertisements? All right, that energy itself begin tends to it has got a certain level of vibration attached to it that things begin to move into your perspective. Because even Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich under the same chapter, because that's actually a dedicated chapter where he says the most sexually energized men and women are the
Yes.
best in terms of sales and when we're in terms of sales and success. All
Yes.
right. He gave an example of even is it John D. Rockefeller in the others. They've
Yes.
got this aura, meaning they've got this attraction that men begin to get attracted to them because of this energy that they have. So
Yes.
if we use it to our advantage, we can propel it to more success, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. But of course,
Yes.
it will not be easy because this is something that you haven't done in a long time. But with practice, as you start, you're becoming better. You're becoming better. Channeling that energy of sex to something more creative, more positive for your own will.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, guys, I did a few research. Okay, I did some research on this issue because this issue really got me interested. So what I did, I wanted to show. Let me see if I can find where I saved this. I wanted to show you my brief research on this particular issue and how it operates. There's a diagram I want to show you. I hope it loads. I hope it loads. I did a diagram here which I wanted us to just be able to look at. Maybe it's gonna help somebody, right? Maybe it's gonna help somebody to see things differently about sexual transmutation. All right. Let me see if I can get this diagram out. I did some research and I read two books because I wanted to be more clear when talking to people about it. And I did a lot of work on it. And it can take us the whole session talking about transmutation alone because it's got about 6 steps. How sex thoughts begin and how they flow down to the lower chakra and how they move up the middle chakra where you can now begin to have decisions. Now here's the issue. One of the things that I said last time, guys, we said that I think I even did. I even did write. I even wrote an article about it, and I said, if you want to succeed somehow, you should reach a level where you're willing to sacrifice something. And one of the things we must be able to sacrifice is too much sex, because your semen contain over 20 million proteins, nutrients, vitamins, different essential things that are required for your brain to think properly, right? So if you have sex in larger quantities, you reduce your potential to think at that higher level, because your brain power is always being sucked by the loss of those essential nutrients, those essential vitamins, those essential lots of things that are involved in that thing. It's quite rich. So it's like one of the richest thing that you have as a human being in your body are your semens. They are so rich with a lot of things, all right? So when you are always losing them, you are reducing your mental power. This is also true for women. All right, you're reducing your mental power. So if you want somebody who's going to be more focused, you should be able to reduce too much of sexual activities, because too much of sexual activity is going to derail your focus, is going to derail your planning, is going to disturb a lot of things. Now, it's so unfortunate I'm unable to load my research, but on a different day, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a whole full session here. I'm going to do a whole full session here on transmutation, and we are going to talk about it in much more deeper details. And the frequency that was actually advised for us who want to be into financial planning. So, guys, there's a lot of things that we need to sacrifice. All right, the journey to greatness is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy to be successful genuinely. There should be a sacrifice. There is something you're going to sacrifice. I could have been watching football right now myself, or I could have been somewhere out dancing or whatever it is, but usually I spend much of my time reading through these things, going through things, writing my books, preparing my courses. I sacrifice a lot of fun, because I know I'm going to sacrifice it for a few years, but I'm going to enjoy it for a very long time. If you work so hard, like I always say, there's no amount of witchcraft, right? There's no amount of witchcraft, there's no amount of juju, nothing will ever hinder your progress, because God will bless your efforts. So, guys, I hope that this session is helping you to see there's so much power. We are equipped with so much power, human beings, to do great things. We are not tails. That's why God said, "Can you be fruitful and subdue the earth?" Being fruitful. That's what that was the direct commandment from God to Adam. Be fruitful and subdue the earth and fill it. Are you fruitful? You can only succeed if you are fruitful. If you are someone who wants to make it genuinely, you need to be fruitful. You must ask yourself, am I fruitful? Are you fruitful? Because here, the subconscious mind, this is the link between your infinite mind and the finite mind, right? If you can plant in it any plan, right, thought or purpose with positive emotions, it will actualize. Because the subconscious mind can't differentiate what is real and what is not real. The subconscious mind operates on how you feel. If you feel good about something, it gives you different ways of doing it. That's why some of you, no matter how difficult it is to talk to a lady, you always find a way of approaching that lady. Why? Because you look forward, you feel that woman at your being. You want to be, you imagine you're holding that person, you imagine whatever it is. So because the vibration becomes stronger, like Mr. Mbando was saying, you begin to see different ways of approaching this lady, different ways of making plans to go out, different ways. Different plans begin to flow on your mind. Why? Because you are feeling this emotion. So if you can feed your subconscious mind with positive energy, you see yourself in the future. Things are fantastic. You see yourself, you're succeeding. You see yourself starting this business. You see you have a plan, you're going to nurture it. You see yourself move from point A to point B. You have a target. You keep seeing yourself. You visualize. You put action. You acquire space. You learn. You go to workshops. You attend every workshop. You learn. Guys, I can assure you, within the shortest possible time, you're going to be surprised at how you're going to be connected to people that are like-minded like yourself. You'll be shocked. You shock yourself. So now the other thing, Mr. Ba, I'd like you to comment on is persistence. When it comes to money, guys, it never comes easy. You will not have it on a silver platter. It doesn't work. The real world, even if you work hard, it doesn't mean you succeed. But at least you'll be happy that you tried. Now it depends on how hard you try. Some people they fail once, they are discouraged. How do you think we have done, Mr. Mbando here, when it comes to persistence, as people that want to make it? How have we fared in this case? And what has been the challenge for us to last longer in our aspirations? Is it the lack of aspiration that makes us give up easily, or it is just the way we have been brought up?
Okay, for starters, it's not even how we have been brought up. I think under the African community, there are a lot of examples of persistence. But I think where we are now, we are fighting with social media peer pressure.
Yes.
Yes, social media peer pressure has made people they I can use this term soft life. The soft life social media image has made people become even less persistent, because you're seeing this 20-year-old driving a Mercedes Benz, you're seeing this 30-year-old driving a Range Rover, you're seeing this person is posting pictures in Dubai, you're seeing this person has just opened their business and it's booming, all right? But at the end of the day, I think we are with persistence, people need to understand the art of delayed gratification.
Yes.
Under persistence, also, even the motivational speakers that are successful, they need also to emphasize on the part of failure, because you can only be persistent through failure. As is it John D. Rockefeller or Napoleon Hill who said, success is pursuing failure after failure. You keep
Yes.
learning, you fail here, you try, you fail, you try, you fail, you try this business doesn't work, you try this business, it doesn't work. Or what do? You also learn. Maybe you also need to go back to the technocrats. Oh, okay, Mr. Shadrach, you are a chartered accountant. How maybe I'm missing it out. How do I balance my books? Or maybe you're
Yes.
not getting more opportunities because your business is not registered. Okay,
Yes.
maybe you're not exposed to these other functions. For example, maybe a lot of people don't even know what ZDA does. All right, how
Yes.
about if you expose yourself to Zambia Development Agency? How about if you put your business in the right order? How about if you got your PACRA certificate, you got your ZRA tipping? Do you think now that that level, even your imagination begins to change? Oh, what about if I can now get this tender? I can now do this. Can I get a ZPP certificate? This is part of persistence. Maybe when you started, you didn't have this. Part of
Yes.
persistence simply means that, okay, if I made 1,000 kwacha of profit from this, maybe I get this. Maybe you can start even with a business name. Even before you rush to a company, start with a business name which will cost you less than 500 kwacha. Okay, you get these plus a tipping is free. These are maybe you can look at how do I get to start supplying. That's your persistence, your
That's
imagination. Remember, you've written it down. All right, one, you've written it down. Two, you have an amount attached to it. Now, the other thing that comes in, you need to put these things in place. You need to also to look at ask the people that have succeeded. How are you doing in your field? All right, if they're into sales or if they are running businesses, they'll tell you, okay, me I supply ABCD, but you also realize that as they are doing their supply, they've got their papers intact, they've got their PACRA, they've got their TPIN, they've got their ZD and whatnot. Plus they also have got technocrats. This is one thing
yes.
that has been fighting a lot of entrepreneurs. We do not want to engage the technocrats, because you
Yes.
feel like, oh, Bill Gates made it big without going to school. No, Bill Gates had technocrats in his company. Do you think Bill Gates was managing those billions alone? No. The technocrats will now tell you, oh, okay, now you have made this much money, get this money, invest it in this, get this money, now invest it in that. Okay, Mr. Shadrach will introduce you to Kunyumba. Oh, now, okay, well, we've done this business, you've been educating you here. Now you've made this 10,000 kwacha. Instead of you wasting it, here is Mr. Nyumba who can start giving you tips of how you begin to invest your money and grow your money. You are now learning. It
Yes.
begins to, that's part of persistence, correct?
Yes.
Because even the way you gave that example of Bruce Lee, yes, to make that $10 million. But when you look at it, Bruce Lee maybe had got financial advisors behind him saying, if you invest this
Yes.
money in A, B, C, D, you invest it in bonds. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, it will be giving you maybe a minimum of this much every month without you even working, meaning your money is working for you.
Yes.
Persistence also simply means that when you fail, okay, I've trust me, where I am here, I've failed several times. Okay, I failed several times. I know how it feels. It's
Yes.
bad. But persistence simply means sometimes just wake up, okay, from your slumber and say, okay, let's move on. As John C. Maxwell says, at times success simply means after you've been hit by failure, you need to move on. Let go and move on while you're singing Kumbaya. You're singing
Yes.
Kumbaya, you're trying to find what next can I tend to look at. Yes.
Yes.
So persistence, you always face failure, will always face circumstances. Even Jesus Christ himself, he faced failure. People didn't
Yes.
believe in his miracles. People didn't have faith in him. But he was the Son of God. That is also
Yes.
the obstacles that he faced.
Yes.
So I think we need to emphasize on the art of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. This one would definitely fight a lot of us because of what we are seeing on social media.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That's true. I couldn't agree more. Guys, there's so much power in being persistent because you are seeing that the outcomes is more way better than the troubles. Right now, you have to know when you are persistent, when you are being persistent, what's the outcome? That's your focus. To focus on the reward. The reward is way bigger than the struggles. Right now, as we conclude, Mr. Musumari, what do you think when it comes to mastermind? Because here in his book, Napoleon says, you know what? If you can convert knowledge to power, all right, by assembling it into plans and taking action with the help of a mastermind group, that is harmonious cooperation by two or more people, it's going to help you achieve your goals. Now, Napoleon talks about working together, collaboration. How do you think we have done as people want to make it when it comes to working with other people? How have we fared? Let's begin with you, Mr. Musumari. How do you think we have fared in this regard?
Mainly, we fail to cooperate with other people because we don't choose the right people to partner with. Because as you are starting up a business, maybe with your friend, you should be able to know that if I am able to partner with Mr. Rusambo, we'll be able to achieve. If I partner with this person will be only able to take me to this place. So partnership again requires persistence, because when you're starting business, partnership is very difficult. You might think maybe your friend is dribbling you, but maybe it's just that the business is not going through.
Indeed. Fantastic. In conclusion, Mr. Madu, how do you think we have fared when it comes to mastermind and partnering with others, working with others, collaboration with others? How have we fared in this regard?
Okay, so in terms of mastermind, this one when you look at how Napoleon Hill puts it, he says you partner with those that have already gone ahead of you, meaning those that already have got the skill and the experience. All right. For example, I may have money, but if I want to engage in a certain particular business, I need to look for somebody who has not who has failed, but who has what succeeded, because they will teach me the do's and don'ts that need to be done in that particular business. Okay. Then also remember, business is all about people. You cannot do it alone unless you are dealing in stock. Because even if you are going to do stock and bonds, you are still going to engage with somebody. All right. So this simply means one, me as an individual, in terms of these masterminds that I have, right, they are going to expose me to a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of skills, and a whole lot of networks beyond them. All right, due to the service. Remember, as we are coming together as a team, there's a service or a product that you are going to render to the public. Only that these people you're partnering it, they have a wider network. One, they've got better skill that you're also going to learn from. At times they may not have the skill, but they have a network of people that will teach you.
Yes. That's very true. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Thank you very much for your generosity. You've shared valuable points throughout this discussion. I'm very grateful. And I feel I share your views, and I also feel that we've not done a very fantastic job when it comes to partner. We are like people that want to succeed alone. You want to make it alone, all right? That's what becomes twice as hard for most of us to make it, because we don't see the value of working with other people. Guys, you can't succeed on your own. You need other people. You need to see the good things in others. That's how it works in the real world. No matter how smart you are, you have to understand there's somebody who is smarter than you. Partner with somebody, because there's always another guy who knows another guy and another guy. So partner with others and work with others in harmony. Mr. Mbando and Mr. Fides Musumari, Mr. Mbando Mubita, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I did appreciate our audience. Thank you so much for support. Of course, Chisi, Kwangu, Clarence, Bernadette, and all of you joined us. Patricia Banda, thank you so very much, guys. Thank you for your participation and for your support throughout. Clarence, thank you so very much. We really appreciate. We've seen those messages. Christabel, thank you so very much. Philip, thank you so much. We've seen you. and we are very grateful for your participation. Guys, have a fantastic night, and we end here for tonight. We're gonna see you tomorrow, same time. Bye bye.